am fairly certain that my 14-year-old geriatric cow's new heifer calf that was born on Monday is either part thoroughbred or part racehorse because of the situation that occurred this morning. And this was one of those scenarios where after the fact, I really wish that I had set up my camera ahead of time to capture anything that could potentially occur that would be entertaining or educational to other people. So Monday afternoon, this little baby was born. I spent some time with her on Monday night. I gave her a first defense pill, which helps with their immune system. And Mama was a little aggressive to me. This is the first time that she's ever shown aggressive in all of the calves that she has had. And I don't know if it's because she's senile or she's just sick of people's crap. But that is a first time for this because I've always been her person. That aside, Tuesday, and she doesn't really like my husband that much either, which is also kind of strange because she was never a huge anti-male cow. There was one cow I had who was named Fiona who hated men, but Emma Lou was never like that. So Tuesday, I had a professional development training for new teachers at a local BOCES center. So again, I was not home for most of the day. By the time I got home, I had a few chores that I needed to get done and some various other odds and ends, and I didn't have the energy to come out and fight with Mama and try to tame down baby. So whatever, we'll try it again tomorrow. So this morning, it is now Wednesday, I go out and think to myself, well, Mama's in the barn eating grain. It might be a good idea to go out and try to get the baby into the barn. So that way my children can spend a little bit of time with her and I don't have to worry about Mama trying to run them down. So I go out with a halter, I'm very quiet, Mama is in here, and I go to approach this calf who is out about 3/4 of the way into the pasture away from the barn. It's fine, I've caught calves out there before. I'm very slow and quiet, and when I talk, my volume is low. I'm trying to calm these animals down. And she looks at me and sees me and watches me get closer to her, and I'm about 5 feet from her at this point. Can't slip the halter on her yet. She jumps up and shoots across the pasture, literally running, like I'm the biggest threat to her safety at that time. So I'm not running after her, but this is another perfect example of why this close fence is a woven wire type of fencing. It's not the high tensile fencing because this pasture is where some of these babies are learning what a fence is. Had this been high tensile fencing, I would have been chasing this calf down 242 because she was running and didn't want to stop. She ran right into the fence. So her pride's hurt, whatever. She goes and starts running around again. She finds a patch of thistles that are like half dead. And literally, she sees that she has some cover and she drops to the ground. And you can see that her breathing slowed down because just like with deer or goats or any of those ruminant type of animals, that's their safety mechanism because they think that they're going to get eaten in the first couple of days of birth. And if they feel a threat, that is their best idea of safety. This was the first time I've ever seen one of my calves do it. I found them out in the field like that when I'm worried that they're gone and something has taken them, and eventually I stumble across them. But I've never seen one do it like that I was trying to catch. So she lays down again. I approach her. I get to the point where like I let her sniff me. I start to scratch her face because she really enjoyed that on Monday. And under her neck, she also really liked that. And before I can slip the halter on her, she jumps back up again and does a whole nother lap. And this pasture is not small. Like that had to be a good workout for this little baby. Eventually, she lets me approach her a little bit closer. Mama at this point is done eating her grain. She comes out and the baby starts to like hang around her, kind of thinking about nursing. And that was when I got the halter on her. Now, meanwhile, I have the halter on this calf. I'm trying to drag her back to this barn. A Penske truck shows up in my driveway, and I text my husband and say, are we expecting a shipment of anything? Because I'm out with the calf that I can't leave, and I can't tie her up because she doesn't know what a halter is. She doesn't know what being tied up is, and I don't need her to strangle herself. He goes, no, I don't think so. My two boys are out driving around lawnmowers, which is standard for my 5 and 8-year-old, is to be operating lawnmowers and driving them around the lawn when they get bored. And my two dogs are outside. So my feral farm children must have greeted the Penske driver, helped him unload this massive furnace, obviously with the drop gate that is on the truck, and they got the supplemental parts into the house on the stairs, and they also got the dogs in the house so that the poor driver didn't get eaten alive. By the time I get the calf back to the barn, I get up there, he's ready to leave. So feral farm children definitely have things under control here in my absence. So that, I guess that's a positive. I got to witness that firsthand because I literally was unable to run up and talk to this guy. So this little feral baby, she's gonna spend some time in front of the headlocks. The mom actually has a retained placenta, which means that she didn't clean. The placenta is still hanging out of her and it is in a various state of decomposition. Many people probably seeing this, if you're not familiar with livestock, will be like, well, why don't you just pull it out of her? You can't do that because you can cause a lot of internal damage. This is basically a wait and see, observe type of a thing because I don't just want to give her antibiotics. It's too late to give her oxytocin. So I'm just going to monitor her to make sure that this does not develop into a worse infection where I would treat her with antibiotics. But this little baby is also going to be living in front of these headlocks so that I can keep hands on her and don't have to chase her around when she feels that she needs to get in touch with her inner racehorse. So she may be a show prospect for my boys, which is why I need them tamed down. We don't have a huge cow herd anyway, and I AI all of my cows, and I AI them in the headlocks that you see behind me. So it's not like I have a squeeze chute, so they need to be used to people so that I don't get kicked in the femur like I did last fall. And end up with superficial thrombophlebitis or whatever. Yeah, it is critical that my beef cows are handled. This one, obviously, potential show cow, could also most likely be a future breeding cow for my herd. So she needs to be used to us and desensitized. So if you have any questions, let me know.